drivers for 43 spots. Dale Earnhardt Jr. there, special paint scheme on this 4th of July weekend. 83 degrees. There is a chance of rain, but that's per usual here in Florida for this time of year. Stay with us. Qualifying coming up next here on Speed from the Daytona International Speedway.
I believe we got a lot more humidity than that.
I think so.
Tonight, NASCAR returns to Daytona, and it's time to get fired up as Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane bring the party to NASCAR Trackside. Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight at 11 Eastern, only on Speed.
And now I'll turn it over to the Gecko.
Thank you, sir. As we all know, Geico has been saving people money on RV, camper and trailer insurance, as well as motorcycle insurance. Sorry, technical difficulties.
What about this?
What's this one do? Maybe that one.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We run motorcycle insurance?
Take 15 minutes to see how much you could save on motorcycle, RV, and camper insurance.
Who's serving up a big breakfast this weekend?
On an endless buffet, a juicy steak.
Don't flip out.
Only Golden Corral would include steak for breakfast. It's on our endless weekend breakfast buffet, all for a great low price. Only at Golden Corral.
What if the person of your dreams is out there waiting for you? And what if this weekend only, eHarmony lets you communicate with that person for free? Announcing the eHarmony Free Communication Weekend this Friday through Monday, 4 days only. So get started today at eHarmony.com.
At TireRack.com, we don't just sell tires, we test them on our unique test track. Our results are honest, unbiased, and as real as it gets. Use this information to help decide which tires are right for you, your vehicle, how you drive it, and where you drive it. It's not just a test track, it's truth serum for tires. And it's only a Tire Rack, the Tire Rack Test Track. One more way, Tire Rack is revolutionizing the way you buy tires.
TireRack.com. Research, buy, deliver, install.
Some athletic uniforms are designed to wick away moisture. Other uniforms are made to wick away 500-degree flames.
Speed's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying from Daytona is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 foot-long subs to choose from. Enjoy the amazing value at Subway all day, every day. Brought to you in part by Toyota and by Sprint, the Now Network. Getting set for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying here at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Robert Richardson Jr., and Jimmy Johnson, the first three drivers out. Also joining us down on the pit road, well, not Jamie McMurray, but Jeff Hammond.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Yeah, we're down here on pit road getting ready for qualifying, but today we had an announcement down in the media center. This, I think, is pretty important. 2011, we're going to have a new race team coming into NASCAR, and here to tell us about it, hey, the Chief Marketing Officer for America's racing team, Michael Wright. Michael, a lot of excitement down here about your company coming on board and starting a new team in 2011.
Well, we're thrilled to be able to make the announcement today. We've been working on this project now for almost a year, with extensive research with the fans, because it's really going to be the first ever fan-led team that plans to run a full year Sprint Cup schedule. We are final stages of doing our technical alliance with one of the top 3 teams in NASCAR, so we're going to be running top cars. We've spoken with 3 or 4 potential drivers, but we haven't signed one yet. The biggest question people ask, why don't you have a driver to announce? It's because part of the program is to allow the fan partners to have input into who our driver will be. So we've taken care of the business part of it. We're all ready to go. We got a marketing plan. Our new 30-second commercial will air on several stations over this weekend. Fans can look at us on www.americasracingteam.com and find out what it takes to be involved. But we're excited about it. So far, the fans we've talked to seem to be energized, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to race next Daytona.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Looking forward to seeing you in 2011. And Phil, a lot of things are going down here on pit road besides the announcement of a new team.
Well, they are, Jeff. And actually, Jamie McMurray's scheduled to go out here, maybe 8th or 10th in line. And because of the nationwide drivers meeting, some of the drivers that are in the nationwide race are in the drivers meeting, so they may move him up. So just for a second here, you have to have pretty fond memories of coming back to this place.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to come back here. This has been one of my favorite tracks really since I came into Cup racing. So I always enjoy coming back here, and it's certainly fun. Everything that goes along with winning the 500. We're still doing stuff today. We put our like concrete plate in the Walk of Fame earlier. So there's still stuff going on for the 500. And we had a really good practice with our Bass Pro Shop Chevy yesterday. We ran that first practice and tried a couple of setups, and car had really good speed again, and it handled well. So we elected not to run the second practice. We just didn't feel like our backup car was going to be faster than the car that we brought. So, a really good car. Bono's done a great job at preparing the car, all the guys on the team. So just hope to make it to the end tomorrow night.
See if you can make it 2 in a row.
I hope so.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you very much, Phil. We'll be back with the first car to roll here in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying from Daytona International Speedway. Hope your 4th of July weekend is off to a great start.
Wednesday, July 21st. Prime time on Speed is about to hit the gas. At 8, it's the new original stunt riding series, Stealth Rider. Then, it's an all-new season of Pigs All Out, followed by the premiere of Intersections, where man and machine are pushed to the limit. 3 great original series premiere Wednesday, July 21st, only on Speed.
There aren't many of us who use a cell phone just to make phone calls. But when AT&T or Verizon offer you an unlimited plan for $69.99, that's all it's good for, phone calls. With Sprint, for the same price, you get unlimited text, unlimited web, and unlimited calling to every mobile phone in America. Now that's more like it.
$69.99 for unlimited text, web, and calling to any mobile in America. Only from Sprint.
The mailbox and the traffic light. Both are ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
On January 12th, a massive earthquake ravaged Haiti's capital, taking the lives of hundreds of thousands of people and leaving millions more without water, food, and shelter.
During our time in public service, we've witnessed firsthand the extraordinary generosity of the American people in the face of tragedy, here at home and around the world.
But there's still so much to do. So please join the Clinton Bush Haiti Fund and other organizations as we answer the call to help Haiti build back better. Thank you.
Phone call is free. The information is free. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 1-800-375-5064. That's 1-800-375-5064.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was scheduled to be the first driver to qualify, but getting word via NASCAR that he is in the NASCAR Nationwide Series drivers meeting, so Jimmy Johnson is first out, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the 5-minute clock.
Qualified third for that Nationwide Series race. Kind of broke up that little Penske group up there in the first 2 rows.
Well, like Darrell said, that 3-car with the Wrangler paint scheme was a flashback, wasn't it?
Oh, man, every time I see that car go around the track, I think, is this 1982?
Yep.
I've asked the operator to hook me up to 82 a number of times.
You and Randy Travis.
Yeah. You know what, Steve? I know you love nuggets.
I do.
And I've got a nugget about this 48 car and Jimmy Johnson. He has now won 5 or more races in a single season for 5 consecutive years. But my man right here, DW, did it 8 consecutive seasons from 1977 to 1984. 5 or more wins in consecutive seasons.
Hence the nomination for the Hall of Fame, the second class. Congratulations.
That's so exciting. I mean, that list of 25 they just announced, that is an incredible list. Oh, yeah. A bunch of guys on there are my heroes, man.
But tell the truth, does it make you nervous?
It makes me real nervous. starting to feel a little bit like David Pearson.
Jimmy Johnson's first lap, 48.40.
And I think I need to expand on what I was talking about. We don't have a clue who's going to be fast enough to sit on this pole. If you look at Jimmy Johnson, he was 17th quickest in final practice. His lap time was a 46.76. The only two racetracks that we go to where the cars are faster in race trim than qualifying trim is Daytona and Talladega, because in qualifying trim, just like this 48 car, you're out there by yourself. But when you're out there in race trim, you're in big packs that are drafting, and you can pick up 2 seconds in the draft versus what you can run by yourself.
You can usually get a pretty good feel talking to the crew chief, because at some point in time, the driver will get a little bit of a clear lap just to get an idea about what they're facing when it comes to qualifying, but not always.
Jimmy led just 9 laps a week ago in winning at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 52nd NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win.
Yeah, you're talking about records, Larry was, and this guy, forever it was Jeff Gordon. We said Jeff Gordon's going to rewrite every book and every record in the book, and he rewrote a lot of them. But this guy now is falling right on his heels, and who knows where this 48 team can go and where Jimmy Johnson can go as far as records go and his driving.
And that guy right there on the left, you just saw Chad Canals as being a part of that record breaking on a weekly basis as well. Phil Parsons.
Hey, guys. I was listening to Chad Canals and Jimmy Johnson talk, and after he made the lap, Chad said, make sure you pump your brakes and turn your fan on. He said, well, that was a good, he said, well, I don't know if it's a good lap or not. He said, I don't have any idea. He said, but you're on the pole.
For now.
I don't think that's too bad a lap, really. A 47.88, 187 miles an hour. It's pretty steamy, if you ask me.
And you know, normally we can look back at qualifying for the Daytona 500. We can look back at qualifying from a year ago. But this is a totally different package that we come here with. This is the biggest, I don't want to say the biggest restrictor plate, because to me that almost doesn't make sense saying it that way. It's the biggest holes in the restrictor plate that we've ever had, 1 inch and a 32nd, which is actually 3/64 of an inch bigger than the 500. I think Dale Jr. may make it. I believe he's going to beat the 5-minute clock. But we've got about 40 to 50 more horsepower than we had in February. The reason they could do that is this spoiler that we've got now versus the wing in February puts a lot more aero drag in the car, so they counter it with a bigger restrictor plate.
Daytona 500 champion Jamie McMurray.
One thing I've noticed, Larry, I noticed in practice yesterday, and I think I'm seeing it today in some of these cars' single runs, they got these things yawed out a little bit, which is totally opposite of what you would expect when you come to a speedway like this where you need a lot of straightaway speed. But it's 4th of July, the track is slick, and I guess they think that yawing out and getting that little extra downforce.
Yawed out where?
In the rear.
Like a helicopter flies. Now, if this wasn't an impound race, they'd probably have a straight up housing in it, or maybe yawed the wrong way for qualifying. Soon as qualifying's over, they change it. But these guys are pretty much going to have to race what they qualify per the impound rule.
Yeah, I don't think they're not maxed out on yaw, but they are. The back of the car, the tail of the car is kicked out to get a little bit more downforce on that rear spoiler, a little more air to that rear spoiler.
Jimmy Johnson picked up on his second lap of 47.88. Jamie McMurray's first lap at a 48.70.
You know, of course, McMurray won the Daytona 500 back in February. Darrell gave the track description a while ago. I think the one thing we do need to make note is because of the situation we had in 1 and 2 with the potholes back in February, as soon as the checkered flag waves tomorrow night, crews will move in here. And for the first time since before the 1979 Daytona 500, Daytona International Speedway is going to get a facelift, brand new asphalt.
And you think they've seen some wild racing here in the last few years? Wait till you see this joint repaved. You want to see 4 wide here? It's not really possible, but that's what they're going to try to do.
They will try it. Lots of grip.
Jamie McMurray picks up almost 6/10 on his second lap at a 48.12, but Jimmy Johnson still has the quickest time. Coming up, we'll see Dale Earnhardt Jr., also Joey Logano and Paul Menard. Stay with us.
Saturday, NASCAR race day hits the high banks, and we're there. As Dale Jr., Ryan Newman, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Daytona 500 winner Jamie McMurray join us live. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Daytona Saturday at 4:30 Eastern.
Only on speed. I'm really proud to be a part of it. Love, it's pretty amazing.
Her name is Amanda Brookman, and she is my destiny, although she may not know that, per se. So you can go online and make any kind of car you want. I made a love car.
Do I think they stand a chance? I mean, who doesn't love love?
I love love.
Design a new car, win new prizes at ToyotaRacing.com.
Who?
We just bought our first home.
But it has some stains on the walls.
That's why we choose Kills Primer.
Painting my new fence. Need to block the wood grain from showing through. I choose Kills Primer.
For covering bold colors, I choose Kills.
I never ask a paint to do a primer's job. Priming first gives me better results with fewer top coats. I choose Kills Primer.
Homeowners and pros know that a little prep goes a long way, especially when you're using the #1 primer in the U.S. Kills. It's the perfect start to a great finish.
And back at Daytona, Juan Pablo Montoya is next up onto the high banks, and we go back to Phil.
Greg Keselowski, you already have one pole today. Can you make it two?
I don't know. We didn't do a mock qualifying run with our Penske Dodge Charger here on the 12 car, so the Penske engines have been really strong, and I know the engine shop's really been working hard, so kind of interested to see if that carries over to the Cup car, but either way, I feel good about it. Our car has a lot of speed, even in race trim, so hopefully I can hold on to it and get a good lap out there and get a good starting spot.
Well, good luck this afternoon and tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, Darrell, Larry, practice was cut short last night by about, I guess, 35 minutes. We had a big crash on the backstretch and then raindrops. To Brad Keselowski's point, did that prevent teams from doing a mock qualifying run?
I'd say it did. I mean, normally you wait right to the very end, particularly in an impound race when you don't, there's nothing you can really do. All you really want to know is how fast will this thing run when it's out there by itself, and maybe you could tweak on it a little bit to help it in qualifying.
And I think the other thing that hindered these guys from making mock qualifying runs is these cars in race trim yesterday, they were a handful. I mean, they were working on handling about as much as they probably will next week at Chicago Speedway. Just the cars were that hard to drive yesterday.
And the reason they're harder to drive, they're faster. You got a bigger restrictor plate, you got a bigger rear spoiler, you got a little more downforce, and you got a whole lot more horsepower. You're hitting these turns a lot quicker, you're hitting the bumps a lot harder. That's making the cars more difficult to drive.
So what does that mean in regards to tomorrow night's race?
Well, in the race, you can move around. You know, you can run bottom if you can get through the bumps okay with the setup you got, or you can run right up next to the wall, which we'll see a lot of guys do. That's where the driver comes in. He's got to find the place where he can get the best ride, the best handle out of his race car, wherever that may be.
You can almost be guaranteed, this is what I truly believe, some of the faster cars in this qualifying session may very well not even be close to going to victory lane, because the guy that goes there tomorrow night, he's going to get out and he's going to talk about how great his car drove all night long.
Juan Pablo has 7 starts here at Daytona, best start of 8th, and he's done that twice.
I believe if Jimmy Johnson, these are 2 good bullets right here. The 1 and the 42, we know they're fast at these restrictor plate races. I believe if Jimmy can beat these 2 guys, that's a pretty darn good lap he put up.
Tell you what's amazing is those 2 Earnhardt Ganassi cars, lap 1 ran within 3 100ths of each other and 5 100ths on lap 2, so those cars are pretty equal.
Brakes up.
Good pickup for Juan Pablo, almost 7/10. Jeff Hammond.
Well, Steve, right now, Jimmy Johnson is hauling over here at Jamie McMurray and asked him, hey, did you hold it wide open? You know how drivers are always making fun here. But, you know, seriously, when you got ready to go qualify today, I looked at the American flag, and it really looked like the wind had picked up a lot since yesterday, because you feel it out there.
You know, I really couldn't feel it, but I could see the flag as well going down the backstretch. So it is blowing, and I mean, got out of the car and can certainly feel it. I'm not sure if we'll get all the qualifying in with the clouds and everything, but great lap for the Lowe's Impala. I couldn't feel the wind, but I can say that my car felt fast, and we weren't expecting a really good qualifying effort, but and there's only been a couple cars that have gone so far, but that was faster than we expected to go.
Guys, he's definitely riding a wave of momentum right now, Phil, so see what happens here.
What am I riding?
Jeff, a wave of momentum.
This may be the first time that I ever remember, Kevin, of nobody ever making a mock qualifying run during practice other than the go-or-go-homers.
Yeah, we have no idea how fast it'll run, and it really, honestly, it really doesn't matter. You know, Daytona is really rough, and the tires wear out really bad, so you got to make sure that your car handles really good. So that's all everybody works on, is just getting their cars to handle. I feel like our Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet handles fairly good. I don't know that you're ever going to get them great, but I feel like it's very drivable, and we'll see what happens.
Probably get them great in February, right?
Oh yeah, they'll drive really good in February. It'll be a lot of pushing and shoving then.
All right, good luck, Kevin.
Did you notice that Jimmy Johnson came with his aerodynamic package this weekend?
No.
Clean shaven.
Aha, it's the details.
Ah.
It's the details.
You got it.
less drag.
Less drag. Smooth. Gets through the air.
You know, Daryl, Jeff was talking to Jimmy Johnson about the wind, and certainly qualifying especially, that's always a big issue here. Here's what was interesting that was going on in the garage area yesterday during those 2 practice sessions. You have a choice of gears here, a 364 or 370. You would think the conditions tomorrow night where it's going to be hard to stay in the throttle, you would want that lower gear. But because with this big plate, the RPM was getting so high, it was well out of the power range of these engines. Most of these guys are actually going to race the little bit higher gear tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, you need a little higher gear so you can pick up. If you're maxed out on RPM and you're just, you know, it won't pick up, you can't pass anybody. This way you get a draft, and these things will draft amazingly well with that plate. You get a good run, and you might be able to pass some people.
Daryl, we were looking at the scoring monitor last night during practice, and it seems like the quickest lap, about 195 miles per hour by themselves right now. Quickest lap by Jimmy Johnson, 187.935.
Yeah, look at this run we got going here with this 88 car. That's looking pole to me.
Yeah, he was 3 100ths quicker on lap 1.
Yes, sir.
245 or 250, 230.
And basically 3 100ths quicker on lap 2.
47.85, the quick lap for Dale Earnhardt Jr., 188.08 miles per hour.
These team cars are all running about the same,
Yeah,
aren't
they are.
Joey Logano coming up, as well as Paul Menard. Stay with us here in Daytona.
Tonight, NASCAR returns to Daytona, and it's time to get fired up as Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane bring the party to NASCAR Trackside. Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight at 11 Eastern. Only on Speed.
Hi, I'm Elliott Sadler, and you're watching Speed.
So many unforgettable moments in All-Star Game history. What can we expect this year? All-Star Game, check it out on Fox.
How about we open up a whole can of getting it done? This year's colors up on the wall this year. Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get $5 off any 1-gallon can of any Behr or Glidden paint.
Do you want some Fiber One honey clusters?
Yeah. You must really care about him.
What? No.
You gave him fiber.
No, she didn't. This tastes way too good to be fiber.
They're delicious, crunchy clusters with sweet honey and half a day's worth of fiber.
You care about my fiber?
Not really.
I care about your fiber, too. I have for a while.
Okay, Carl, why don't you care about her fiber? Hey, Carl.
Fiber One. Cardboard no. Delicious yes.
0 to 300 in under 4 seconds. Can't beat that.
Well, actually, you can at Copart.com.
You're right. Copart.com has over 50,000 vehicles online to choose from every day. Everything from classic cars, trucks, motorcycles, you name it.
That's what makes Copart.com the virtual auction.
Copart.com.
It's where car guys get cars.
And nothing flat.
Robert Richardson Jr. in that 37 car. One start here at Daytona. That was in this year's Daytona 500. Started 37th and finished 31st.
Now, he was one of those cars that was involved in that big wreck on the back straightaway. This is a backup car, so this will be the first laps that he'll be making. In fact, this was his teammate Kevin Conway's backup car.
Yeah, it was so close to Tony Stewart clearing that wreck, but this car kind of swerved over a little bit, clipped Tony as he was going by yesterday, and turned Tony into the outside wall. You'll see right here, Tony sees the wreck first. He slows. Robert keeps going, and he has to swerve just a little bit, and he gets into the side of the 14 car, Tony Stewart.
Yeah, he almost made it by, as well as Tony Stewart almost made it by.
Almost as close as what caused the accident.
Now, the thing about all these backup cars, I talked to the NASCAR officials just to confirm, because all of this happened prior to qualifying, and this being an impound race, so they definitely have their race engines in, all of these backup cars will be able to start the race where they actually qualify.
Boy, you can really see that shark fin on the back of that car. He's got it painted white. thing is huge. It's hard to believe they got something that big sticking up on the back of the car.
But I bet I know why they've got it painted white. That way that spotter can pick that car up all the way over there on that back straightaway.
It definitely makes it more visible.
And Richardson's first lap, 49.42, the slowest of 5 drivers.
And this is one of the 3 Front Row Motorsports teams, and Robert Richardson has a deal where he's running the 4 restrictor plate races. The odd man out for those 4 races is David Gilliland, who's not here this weekend.
Phil Parsons.
Standing by with former Daytona 500 winner Matt Kenseth. And Matt, are you in the same club as everyone else? Have no idea how fast you're going to run?
Yep. Yeah, we just worked on race setup yesterday. You know, qualifying, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because it always matters to get a good pit stall and try to start toward the front. But in an impound race, for us who are locked in, there's not a lot we can do about our qualifying speed except for just see where the tape needs to be. So we really worked on trying to get this car to handle good through the bumps and hopefully be able to handle better than most of them when it gets slick out. I think that's going to be the key to tomorrow night's race.
All right, good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks.
I'm glad he expanded on that first part of his answer.
Yeah. Right to the point, wasn't he?
Oh, I understood perfectly.
Nice pickup for Robert Richardson this lap of 48.64.
You know what? That is not bad.
No,
That's
really,
only a half a second
really
slower than McMurray. First lap's making in that race car.
Pretty good job right there. Yeah, you was talking about that answer. You never worked for Junior Johnson, did you? You got a lot of them yeps and nopes.
Jeff Hammond.
A couple of guys sitting on the pole right now. Dale Jr., pretty impressive run, but at the same time, I want to ask you, you're in the Sprint Cup car now, qualified 3rd in that Nationwide car. Could you tell any difference as far as going from one car to the next?
Yeah, I really like the new plate on the Cup car. All that power really is fun, and car really comes up to speed good. You can notice a little bit difference, but this car, we banged the wall a little bit, changed all the right front suspension. It seems to be fixed, and we had a little toe-in issue, I think. So we got all that fixed. Seemed to be good. I don't know what kind of lap time that is, whether it's good or not. We didn't even make one in practice, but wherever it ends up, we'll go from there. We'll work from there. National Guard team's doing great. I want to thank all the soldiers out there supporting us. We support you guys right back. We're real proud to be associated with such fine people. So we're just hopefully have a good race tomorrow, and we got a little work to do tonight, and we'll get ready for tomorrow.
All right, good luck, Dale. Guys, the thing about it is he got out of that race car. He went all the way around, congratulated, and told every one of the crew members, thank you for the hard work, giving me the opportunity to sit on the pole, at least for the time being.
Well, Jeff, we're taking a look at Joey Logano last night in practice. Checked up before getting to pit road. Carl Edwards had nowhere to go, got into the back of it.
Yeah, we had a shot of him there just a minute ago sitting on pit road, and you know what he was thinking? Get your hand up before you pit. Get your hand up before you pit.
Even though I'm by myself.
Every time he goes out, it's what he's going to be thinking.
And Larry, like you said, he manned up. He said it was a rookie mistake.
He did. And as I said, Joey Logano is a quick learner, and I guarantee he won't make that mistake again. You know, just real quick back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. I know we've got 9 races into the chase, but it wasn't that many races ago. I think we all felt hope for him making the chase was all over. You look at his last 3 races, 3 top 11 finishes. He's 3 points out of the top 12 right now.
Well, he said earlier on when he was in the chase earlier in the year, he said, you know, oh, it shouldn't be any problem to make the chase. And then all of a sudden he went tumbling. And I thought, boy, I bet he regretted saying that. But now they're working their way back in. And if you're going to do it, now's the time to do it.
Darrell, interesting note about Dale Earnhardt Jr., 42 restrictor plate races. Never sat on the pole.
My, I wouldn't.
That's surprising.
It is. It really is. It's always great in a race. I know that.
Started second here twice.
Logano had the 3rd quickest first lap, and now he has the 3rd quickest second lap. Picks up about 0.6 of a second from lap 1 to lap 2, which is pretty normal.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been seeing, Larry. 6-7 tenths. High line, low line.
Through 6 drivers here at Daytona in Sprint Cup Series pole qualifying. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a time and speed to beat. Stay with us here on Speed.
Discover the soul of NASCAR at over 50 NASCAR home tracks across North America. Visit NASCARHometracks.com to find a track near you.
A lot has changed over the years in how you make a vehicle go fast. But one thing hasn't changed: Sunoco's proven performance. Today, we continue to focus on quality and performance and are proud to fuel champions in just about anything that races. Fueling victories every week, every race, every win. The Sunoco Free Fuel 5000 is back. Get your decal at Sunoco for a chance to win 5,000 gallons of gas.
I'm back in the saddle again. Out where a friend is a friend.
Well, the longhorn cattle feed on the lonely gypsum weed.
Back in the saddle again. See how affordable an RV vacation can be. Visit GoRVing.com and watch a free video. Go affordably, go RVing.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
Hey, little dude, dinner's my middle name. How about some hamburger helper? Oh my, but your mouth is gonna love it. And your wallet's gonna be pretty happy, too.
Now this is the deal of the day.
Hamburger helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 tasty meal.
Michael Annette, I haven't heard much about him.
Michael Annette, born June 23rd, 1986 in Des Moines, Iowa. In 09, he had 35 starts, 13 laps, led 4 top 10s. Favorite sandwich? Grilled cheese. No crust.
The NASCAR Nationwide Series. Get into it.
Yeah, hey, make it out to John from Trevor, number 99. Best career finish came at the very same race as my first career pole. Then it was on to Iowa, and it stopped running.
The NASCAR Nationwide Series. Get into it.
Join us on Trackside tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. Our guests, Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane. They come by our Friday night house party. That's at 11 Eastern, only on Speed.
You know, we had another guest, Mr. C.J. Spiller, and we're going to talk to him about something that you would be hard-pressed to find anybody else in the world of football that's accomplished. He did it last fall against North Carolina State.
And is that not two opposing personalities, though? Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane?
Yeah, it is, in fact.
I mean, Harvick's up on the chip and wide open all the time, and Casey is so laid back.
And that's at 11 Eastern tonight on Speed. Paul Menard has won NASCAR Sprint Cup Series pole, and it came here in 2008, the July race.
Now, this will be the first one of the Richard Petty Motorsports Fords or the Roush Fenway Fords to qualify this week here at Daytona. A lot like Casey Kane and David Reagan last week, those 8 Fords have the new FR9 engine in them.
Don't forget that speaking of the King,
birthday.
It's a birthday today. He's 73 years old. Happy birthday there, Mr. the King.
Mr. the King.
Always celebrates it down here normally, I think.
Yeah. Well, there are things in your life that you normally celebrate at the racetrack. If they fall from February until November.
Birthdays,
anniversaries, you name it.
Here's Jack Roush, Cat in the Hat.
I tell you, the Fords have been pretty steamy in practice anyway. See what kind of laps they can put down by themselves. But there were a number of Fords. I think there were 5 Fords in the top 10 at final practice yesterday.
Now, Paul's first lap was a 48.88. That's one of the slower first laps of those first 5 or 6 cars that's been out. Picks up to a 48.30, a little over half a second. Right now he's 6th out of the 7 cars. I think what we'll see with these Fords is exactly what we've seen the last couple of years down here. I'm not sure they're going to have that good, fast qualifying lap, but I guarantee you they'll race good.
Phil Parsons standing by with A.J. Allmendinger.
A.J., you come in here off of 6 top 15 finishes in a row. What has it been to get you guys that chemistry that you need?
I mean, I think it's just team chemistry. Mike Shiblett and all the boys on the 43, we're just, I think we're working hard together. We're gelling. It's really our first year working together. It's a combination of that, getting used to the Ford race car. The cars in general are brand new. Roush Yates is bringing a lot of horsepower. So just a combination of everything. We're starting to run a lot better. I think we're only going to get better as the year goes on. I'm looking forward to this race. We have the Daytona 500 car. We got the PVA on the car, which is very special being the 4th of July. So all the veterans, past, future, present, thank you for what they do. Happy birthday to King. I think he's only a young 73 today. Got Dale Inman, nominee for the Hall of Fame, top 25, so that's great. Happy birthday, my mom. That's tomorrow, so we're just having a good time here.
AJ, we have a show to do here now. Are you done?
I got more to talk about. My hair's looking good.
Nice job, AJ. Good luck today.
Oh, don't leave. I'm still here.
I think he touched all the bases. Mom's birthday, Richard Petty.
Phil's getting comfortable working down there in the garage in the pits.
I'm glad Phil didn't have a follow-up question.
We were worried about you talking to Tony Stewart yesterday.
I was worried about me talking to Tony Stewart.
That was making me really nervous, Larry.
Man had his head underneath the hood.
Larry just walks up in there and gets right alongside of him. I said, I don't know how long this is going to last.
I talked to Tony actually this morning or earlier this afternoon. He was just laughing. He said, you know what? You come interview me anytime, any place. I said, I promise you I will not ask you a stupid question.
I think it was the fact that you asked any question.
At least you didn't ask him what happened.
Or ask him, did he know where they were going to wreck when he came off turn 2?
Yeah. Did you have any idea?
Sam Hornish, first lap, 48:39.
Pretty good first lap.
That is. That's
right in there with the boys.
Yeah, yes, it is. And you see right now, he's flirting with the front row. Sam had a front row start earlier in the year, qualified second at Texas.
Hit that dip down there, kind of one of the dips in turn 1 and 2. Looked like it might have knocked a little speed out of the thing. See if he can gain anything back. There's a little bit of headwind down that back straightaway. You can see that tracker moving a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's so close right in there because right now you've got Jimmy Johnson second at a 47.88, Logano third at a 47.90, so it's pretty tight. He keeps flirting with the front row, with all the way to the pole up there.
Right there he did.
He's going to do it. He's going to beat Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Think he
Yes,
might have
sir.
it.
47.82.
What about that?
188.194 miles per hour for Sam Hornish.
Tell you what, I know it's early, but I believe Penske came to Daytona loaded for bear.
I'll tell you, based on those nationwide cars, now this.
Well, coming up, Greg Biffle, David Reagan, teammates at Roush Fenway will qualify, and if A.J. Allmendinger's done talking, he will too.
Wednesday, July 21st. Prime time on Speed is about to hit the gas. At 8, it's the new original stunt riding series, Stealth Rider. Then, it's an all-new season of Pigs All Out, followed by the premiere of Intersections, where man and machine are pushed to the limit. 3 great original series premiere Wednesday, July 21st, only on Speed.
Imagine if you could keep your engine as close as possible to factory clean. Introducing new Pennzoil Ultra, a revolutionary new synthetic oil that takes clean where it's never been before. Nothing feels like a factory clean engine, and nothing keeps you closer to factory clean than new Pennzoil Ultra motor oil. Get Pennzoil Ultra now at participating O'Reilly Auto Parts stores nationwide. If you
Wake up your whiskers with Electric Shave. Stands up whiskers for an up to 52% closer shave.
Man, that was close.
Electric Shave. Blade close. Electric smooth.
Last appointment, my dermatologist said lotion with sunscreen all over.
Introducing Gold Bond Ultimate Protection Body Lotion. Moisturizers, vitamins, plus sunscreen.
Soft and safe every day.
New Gold Bond Ultimate Protection.
This stuff really works.
Main Power is more than just an amazing serve. It's confidence, attitude, expression, glamour. Be bold enough to show the world who you are, on and off the court.
Serena Williams and HSN, a perfect match.
Let's make our statement in style.
Discover the exclusive Serena Williams Signature Statement Collection, only on HSN.
Kevin Harvick has 8 top 10 starts here in Daytona, including a pole back in 2002. Let's go back to Mr. Hammond.
Yeah, down here with Joey Logano, and Joey, you know, we were kind of like looking at the times, and you thought maybe I have a pretty good, decent lap here, and all of a sudden Sam Hornish goes a little bit quicker, but pretty tight field so far. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to put us. I think 12th, maybe 13th. You guys did a great job putting this thing back together. That's awesome that we can go back out there and have a good lap. They
they work their brains out, so I got to thank them, and you know, that's awesome that they're able to dig down deep when they need to. So I feel like I'm gonna be all right. I think we will have a decent starting spot, and you know, everyone knows how this race is. Just got to be at the end somehow and figure out how to finish it. So that's gonna be the main plan at the Home Depot Toyota.
But I tell you, I was impressed when we talked to him last night. You know, he said it. He said, you know, I messed up, but I keep learning.
Yeah, and you know, yesterday, as wild and crazy as that practice was, even Kyle Busch, he said when he clipped 11, you know, his teammate, he said, hey, I just misjudged. But that's so easy to do with these restricted engines, and particularly when you're working through issues like a bigger plate, more horsepower, different spoiler. You're just not sure what you got until you really try things.
You know, one thing we're going to talk to Kevin Harvick about on our Trackside show is the momentum with restrictor plate racing that he brings in here. He's won the last 2 Budweiser shootouts. He lost the Gatorade Duel race back in February by inches. He actually won the Daytona 500. He just didn't win the Daytona 516, and of course just recently won at Talladega.
But that effort he put forth at Talladega was really a thing of beauty. If you know anything about Talladega racing, the way he timed those moves to get himself in position to win, and then the move he put on McMurray to get by him to win the race at the line, knowing where the start-finish line was, that was pretty amazing, really. I was very impressed.
Darryl, you were talking about team cars, how close they seem to be. What I see with that first lap on Harvick, not with his teammates, but with teams that have the same engine package, he's right there on top of Montoya and McMurray on that first lap. It looks like that's about where he's going to end up on the second lap.
Yep. All 3 of them right together. 70, what is that?
07, 12, and 17. Yeah.
So Harvick picks up about half a second, and we go back to Phil.
Standing by with David Reagan. And David, you've run here 7 times before. You've only had 1 finish outside the top 16. Obviously, you didn't get quite as much practice time with this car because of that first practice incident, but how was this car in a second practice?
It was pretty good. I mean, and hats off to all the UPS guys and everyone back at our race shop, because they had that backup car ready. We were able to get out and run some the second practice. So, you know, it drives pretty good. I don't know what it's going to qualify like. Man, the track's so hot and slick here in the July race. You have to have one that drives well. So I'm pretty excited. The Coke 0400 has been a good race to us in the past, and ready to go racing.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
You know, we watched that accident there again where Kyle Busch got into him a little bit, but that 6 car was hung out so far that it was, I don't know if he could have saved it or not. Even if Kyle hadn't touched him, not sure he could have saved it. He was just so loose at that point in the corner.
Brad Keselowski has just 2 Cup starts here at Daytona.
You know, we interviewed Brad a while ago, talked about him. He's sitting on the pole for the Nationwide Series race. I know this is a Sprint Cup car, but if Brad tonight in that Nationwide Series race, if he is running at the end of that race, if he does not log a DNF, he will have been in 84 consecutive races without a DNF. That will actually be a new NASCAR National Series record. That's trucks, Nationwide, and Cup. 84 consecutive Nationwide Series races without a DNF.
Jeff Hammond has our current point sitter, Sam Hornish Jr.
Yes, I do. And also, he's not the only guy. I mean, Richard Petty's not the only guy that has a birthday today. Sam Hornish, I told you, happy birthday earlier. It looks like you might be headed for a pretty good birthday present.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good birthday present to start out with. You know, I really like coming to these restrictor plate races. I enjoy the races and how it's a little bit more of a chess game than it is about, you know, how you do everything else. You got to be smart at the end of the race. And I think that I'm learning a little bit more. I've really worked on that. And, you know, qualifying, you can't do a whole lot to make a good car go faster, but you can do a lot to make a good car go slower. So just got to have real clean shifts, really hold the wheel nice and straight, and make sure that you don't scrub off any speed. So real happy with the Mobil 1 Dodge.
Ronell Penske very strong early on, guys.
And
sounds familiar.
That's what I was saying. You know, all these drivers say, you know, the driver doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, and he hit it right on the head. You may not be able to help your car, but you can darn sure hurt it.
His first lap was 48.66. Now that's about 2.5 tenths slower than his teammate Sam Hornish Jr.'s first lap.
Brad Keselowski, the points leader in the Nationwide Series. Pony cars run tonight.
Good looking race cars.
Yes, they are.
ends up 7th with a 48-13, just behind Jamie McMurray in that one car.
So Sam Hornich Jr., the surprise early here in qualifying through 10 drivers. You'll see Matt Kenseth qualify shortly, Regan Smith and Greg Biffle.
Get ready to take your own trip to victory lane because everyone's a winner at NASCAR.com/hologram. Enter your hologram code today and choose from dozens of NASCAR e-gifts.
Saturday, the Rolex Sports Car Series returns to Daytona, and the battles on the track are more explosive than a 4th of July firecracker. Celebrate the holiday weekend from Daytona, Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
When my dad wasn't racing cars, he was rebuilding them. And the same went for me. That's why when I want to look for a classic to rebuild, I go to Copart.com. Copart.com has over 50,000 vehicles online to choose from every day. Everything from classics, cars, trucks, motorcycles, rebuilders, you name it. That's what makes Copart.com the virtual auction for people who are passionate about cars, like me, Carl Edwards. Copart.com, where car guys get cars.
At TireRack.com, we stock the largest selection of tires anywhere, all at great low prices. But we don't just ship them off to your house after you buy them. We can deliver them to one of over 5,000 of our independent recommended local installers. Because the best tires in the world can't help you if they're not properly installed on your vehicle. A national network of over 5,000 recommended installers. One more way, Tire Rack is revolutionizing the way you buy tires.
TireRack.com. Research, buy, deliver, install.
Presenting the Cadillac Summer's Best Sales Event, a fantastic opportunity to get 0% APR financing on every new 2010 Cadillac model, like the CTS Sports Sedan, the most acclaimed vehicle in its class, and a Car and Driver 10 Best 3 years in a row, or the all-new Cadillac SRX Luxury Crossover, and even the most acclaimed luxury SUV ever, the Cadillac Escalade. Summer brings out the best in all of us. Hurry in to get 0% APR financing on every new 2010 Cadillac during Cadillac's Summer's Best Sales Event, going on now at your Cadillac dealer.
Want to touch up your car's shine but don't have time to wax? Get the shine that sticks. New Finish Cling Spray Car Polish. Simply spray on this unique no-drip formula and just wipe off to give your car a brilliant shine in minutes. Cling doesn't run like those watered-down sprays and lasts 3 times longer. So get New Finish Cling, the shine that sticks.
Available at Pep Boys, Target, Ace, Walgreens, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
Cat in the Hat looks kind of happy right now, talking to the Biff.
Saw Todd Perry right behind him. You know, of course, Todd was the crew chief up until Loudon for Matt Kenseth in that 17 car. Todd has taken a manager role in R&D, and I will say the biggest project he's taken on are these speedway cars for Daytona and Talladega.
Boy, I tell you, when you think about him and you think about Dale Jarrett and you think about Yates and how fast those cars, the 88 and the 28, always were when they came to Daytona and Talladega, that was your ace in the hole right there to have a Yates car at Daytona and Talladega because they could get the job done.
No question.
Regan Smith from Cato, New York, the 2008 Rookie of the Year.
This team here, of course, they have the Hendrick Power. And when you think about this team, they had a great run going in the Daytona 500, got caught up in a crash, and had a top 5 run going at Talladega in the spring. About mid-race, had engine failure.
Seems like when they made the crew chief change, that really, apparently Regan and Rondo must get along pretty good because they really think the performance has picked up a little bit since they made that change.
Yeah, Pete Rondo, the crew chief on that 78 car. Regan has 5 Daytona starts. His best start, 8th. The July race in 2008.
That's about the 5th quickest first lap at a 48.63 for this 78 car.
Not too shabby.
You know, Darrell, I think Regan, he's one of those younger drivers who has the ability, he's got the talent, but the difference between running good at the 3/4 mark and at the very end of the race, that's a pretty wide gap you got to close.
Well, a guy like him's always under a lot of pressure to perform. You know, I think sometimes, this is one of my favorite things, sometimes you let your effort over exceed your ability. And I don't mean that in an unkind way. I mean, you just try too hard, too much with what you have to work with. And I don't mean necessarily just the driver, but the whole package.
Of qualifies right between those Earnhardt Ganassi cars. He's 6th quickest at a 48.10.
Phil Parsons.
Denny, obviously with that late incident yesterday in practice, you have not been on the racetrack with this car. Any anxiousness on your part?
No, not really. This is our Daytona 500 car, so and we know it's race proven, and the way these teams have the fab shops now, every car is pretty much identical. So it's like a factory pretty much. So every car is pretty much the same. You know, you jump right in this one. I was just checking to make sure all the steering wheel and everything's straight, and it's identical. Nothing's changed. So teams do a really good job nowadays with backup cars.
How was your other car in practice?
You know, we felt like it was okay. You know, I don't think anyone was really happy with their car. I definitely wasn't with mine, but we weren't terrible. But the search for grip is tough to come by right now on this surface.
Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Phil. 11 drivers have qualified. 2009 Daytona 500 champ Matt Kenseth up next.
Now, we talked about Jimmy Finning going over there with Matt Kenseth starting last week at Loudon, New Hampshire. You think about Jimmy Finning, he won here in the 1988 Daytona 500 with Bobby Allison, driving for the Stavola brothers back then.
You know, Larry, I have to kind of chuckle a little bit when I hear drivers say that they don't want them to repave this racetrack. Now, to me, that'd be like saying I got a big pothole in my driveway, and every time I go up my driveway, I knock my front end out of line. But I want to leave that pothole there because I like it.
I like it.
I just tell you, these guys will be so happy with this racetrack when we get back down here next February that they're going to wonder, what was I thinking?
Do you think it'll be as smooth as Talladega?
Oh, I think it will. They've got this new asphalt. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. We talked about tracks taking rubber. This new asphalt has a lot of polymers in it. It's not that old rocky, sandy kind of stuff that we used to use to make racetracks out of. I'm telling you, you're putting down a carpet when you put it down now.
And I'm going to tell you, Steve, it's quite the undertaking. You would think, even with 31 degrees of banking, how complicated could it be to put new asphalt down on a 2.5-mile racetrack? Shouldn't take long at all. Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be really close getting this done by early January, because there's so much logistics that goes with it that has nothing to do with the asphalt. All of the safer barrier has to come out because the new asphalt will go all the way to the outer wall. All of the lights have to come out because the equipment that paves this thing in the corners works from the top down. That's where it's all set up. So it's a lot of logistics paving this 2.5-mile racetrack.
It's also a great opportunity to fix a lot of things that you might need to fix that have been kind of putting it off. So they're going to repave everything. Pit road, they're going to make pit road the pit stalls will be concrete. Which the guys at 24-hour race I know appreciate because they got those air jacks. So it'll be a totally different looking place. It'll be beautiful when they get finished.
Darrell, I think what I said is holding true so far. Matt Kenseth, 10th out of the 12 cars, and our 3 slowest cars are those Fords. I think they're going to be waiting on race time tomorrow night.
Sam Hornets Jr., a bit of a surprise here early. A.J. Allmendinger, David Reagan. A lot more yet to qualify here on the high banks.
July 11th, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series thunders into the Hawkeye State for door-to-door, lightning-fast, full-contact excitement. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Iowa, July 11th at 1:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
Here's to getting a weekend project done in record time. Here's to mapping out a game plan, to precise measurements, and powerful tools that make a lot of noise. Here's to getting your hands dirty and ending up with something you can be proud of. Really proud of. Here's to Joey Logano and that number 20 team. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
New Year's Eve 2009, Long Beach, California. Travis Pastrana, the longest rally car jump in history.
Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull. We just bought our first home.
But it has some stains on the walls.
That's why we choose Kills Primer.
Painting my new fence. Need to block the wood grain from showing through. I choose Kills Primer.
For covering bold colors, I choose Kills.
I never ask a paint to do a primer's job. Priming first gives me better results with fewer top coats. I choose Kills Primer.
Homeowners and pros know that a little prep goes a long way, especially when you're using the #1 primer in the U.S. Kills. It's the perfect start to a great finish.
Finding free NASCAR merchandise and gear just got easier. Just enter your official NASCAR hologram code at NASCAR.com/hologram for a chance to score free gear and great offers, or a VIP experience that puts you right next to the action.
Tomorrow, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, is here in Daytona. Ryan Newman, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Jamie McMurray join the gang. Also, a great look at the pre-race flyovers that happen every week at the track. That's some horsepower right there.
You got that right.
No restrictor plates there.
And that's on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, tomorrow here in Daytona.
Fun show to do. We got the boys out looking for, what are we looking for here, boys?
A couple of raindrops.
Oh, I see them.
A couple of raindrops. And Larry, as you are quick to point out, qualifying is not official until every driver has made an attempt.
Exactly.
Or completed an attempt.
Yeah, and we got into that. Darrell pointed it out. Boris said, who was a go or go homer, was sitting on the pole. We were just a few cars shy, and it got rained out. Boris said didn't even make the field that time.
Didn't they wait until the next Saturday? Didn't they wait till the next day down here? When was that? And qualified 3 cars on the next morning to get it finished?
I don't remember that. I just remember
we did do that, but I don't think that was the time.
It wasn't that time.
No,
was
it wasn't that time.
No, I know it wasn't the time with Boris, but we did do that. And it was unprecedented.
Well, Jeff Hammond has unprecedented information.
It's interesting that you guys are talking about the rain. Richard Childers came by me and he said, I think everything's going pretty good. You know, our cars are working really well in the draft, and we feel like we got cars we can win with. And all of a sudden it started to rain harder here in the garage area, and he started grinning. I said, what do you think? And he said, I'm thinking we may be sitting on the pole rather than starting deep in the field and having to work our way through it. So for one owner, a little bit of rain wouldn't hurt his feelings at all.
Because Kevin Harvick leads the points.
Yeah.
And you could see, obviously, a few raindrops on the camera lenses a moment ago. Phil Parsons.
You know, Mark, I was looking at my notes, and you've made 50 starts here, and I cannot believe that you've not won a race here. What would it mean to win this thing tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah. A surprise? It'd be great for this team and you know, CarQuest and GoDaddy.com and all our supporters. Sort of like a hometown home track for us now that we've been here in Daytona since '94. But we'll have to see what happens. The stars never have lined up correctly for that to happen.
Well, they've been close.
We've been close a few times, but not close enough. If we were close enough times, it probably would have worked out. We need to be close every time.
How was that Chevrolet in practice?
We struggle with handling quite a bit, and Alan and the guys have rolled some fresh stuff under it due to a night of numbers crunching, and all of it looks really good. And always when they do that, it's always better. So our car will be better than it was. I don't know how it'll be tomorrow night, but it'll be better than it was last night for sure.
All right, Mark, good luck.
Thank you.
And what they do is they get with their teammates. Who's running good, and that's the advantage of having 2 or 3 teammates out there. You get a lot of good information, a lot of good data.
You know, you're in a little bit of a box here at Daytona, just like at Talladega with some of the rules that NASCAR has. You're somewhat locked into the rear spring rate. They give you some options back there, but you're pretty locked into a small window on the rear springs. They pretty much issue you the rear shocks. Every team, with the exception of some adjustments you can make on the shocks, you run the same rear shocks, so you don't have a tremendous amount to work with the exception of a lot of stuff in the front end of the car.
All right, we'll take a short break. See if we can get this track dried off. 12 drivers have qualified out of 45. We'll be right back.
Tonight, NASCAR returns to Daytona, and it's time to get fired up as Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane bring the party to NASCAR Trackside. Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight at 11 Eastern, only on Speed.
Oh, Daddy.
No, Macy, I can't let you drive the old Aaron's Dream machine. It's too dangerous.
Please?
Honey, your feet won't even reach the pedals.
Oh, Daddy, I love you.
Whoa, Focus. You're only 11. You don't have a license.
But I have my own suit.
Boy, you sound an awful lot like ODW.
Your dad let you drive.
Name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers are all here at Aaron's. You don't need credit to buy or lease at Aaron's guaranteed low price. Nobody beats Aaron's.
We're still going for ice cream, right, honey?
Step into the cage with the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. World Extreme Cage Fighting is on Versus.
Brought to you by your accident lawyers, the Cavera Law Firm at 1-800-4INJURY. Call for your free consultation at 1-800-4INJURY.
Yeah, I should know. Why should I go when everybody's trying? Tomorrow I don't know. Don't tell me you're sure about it. We can be strong. I say we can be strong. We can be strong. I say we can be strong.
Still under a delay here at the Daytona International Speedway. You see the raindrops on the camera. A little blue sky, a lot of clouds. And this time of year, we'll have some sprinkles.
It's a mixed bag.
It is.
One end of the track is sunny, one end of the track is wet.
It is not a wintry mix, however.
No, you don't have to worry about that here. Not this weekend.
Well, Sam Hornets Jr. has posted the fastest lap at a 47.82, which equates to 188.194 miles per hour. 12 drivers in all have qualified at a 45.
Just look at the top four, and this is at a 2.5-mile racetrack of 47.82, 47.85, 47.88, 47.90, our top four.
Phil Parsons.
Standing by with Casey Kane. Casey's getting raindrops on his head, too.